there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you more Bayonetta and the mad insanity that is. This is a video walkthrough on a hard difficulty from a fresh save, and this is Chapter 5, The Lost Holy Grounds. And the first thing I want to say about this level is this is the first example of a step up in difficulty so far. And you're going to be seeing some of the tougher enemies more frequently. The luxury is a couple of these fights can be skipped, so I'll tell you the ones you can skip, but the rest you're going to have to plough through, and unfortunately that means more red and blue cats. So you're going to see a return of the glorious and graceful pair, which are everyone's nightmare who plays this game casually. But how you get better, so you've got to fight them. And this first battle here, don't ask me why I use a torture move on this douchebag, because I could have skipped it, because this fight is completely skippable. You can make him despawn. But I throw casualness aside and I think, come on, I'll kick some ass. I do this, I waste my magic bar, and then I run away like a little girl, and I skip it anyway. So the first thing I'll say is, don't do that, because you've got to fight 4 of these bastards in a row anyway, and wasting a full torture attack on some dude you're going to run away from is never clever. So, there I go, shooting some bullets, thinking I've won, and I run across here. And this is the battleground for the next 2 fights. It's nice and wide, and the camera's not too bad, but the enemies are, so it's going to be a challenge for anybody. But hopefully I'll show you a few techniques to help you get through it, and to spawn it, run across here, and it'll trigger a cutscene. And here we go. Glorious and graceful. And these guys have got a couple of really predictable moves like there. He's going to attack the ground, so always jump when you see him do that. And if he spins like that, he's going to charge directly to where you are. Just get away from him. He's going to do his equivalent, which is kind of similar to the vortex that the angels can do. And there you go, you successfully... Oh my goodness, look at the damage of that. That is the YBY combination against these cats, and it is the most powerful way to deal with them, because you can hurt them both at the same time. And within 2 moves we've already killed 1. There you go, look at the damage. That's a good maybe 2 inches of life bar, and then 2 more spawn. Oh, sorry, 3 more spawn, I tell a lie, there's 5 of them. So dodge as much as you can. As soon as you get that beautiful witch time, use it to your best of your ability, and just drop the hammer on these assholes. But you've got to never be watching you, always be watching them, because if you can use your peripheral vision to keep an eye on yourself, you can focus on what they're doing, and as soon as you see them telegraph a move, you can react. It sounds a bit silly, and it is difficult to do at first, but if you get better at doing it, it becomes easier, and you can watch the entire battlefield at the same time, and it will help you. It will pay so many dividends later on when it starts getting a lot more hectic. And that was a wasted witch time for me. He's going to hit the ground, jump away. They're all swinging at me like motherfuckers. He's doing the spin move, but I managed to take him out before he got to me. And I'm getting hit again because it's a sloppy play from me, but dodged that one, comboed him, carried on with his friend. 2 hits, he counters, I counter him. Do the most powerful move on the game for me. Good night. He's coming up through the floor, just jump away. And just watch him, because I mean, they do the same attacks. They do the forward claw like that, which is probably one of the hardest moves they do to evade, because the timing on it is bullshit. That's a little simpler, because he puts both his claws in and he uses it to propel himself. When he's close, he'll do an uppercut, like he did then, but if you counter it, you can juggle him. If you don't, he'll juggle you, and these fuckers hurt, so be very, very careful. And like I've said before, you're gonna die a few times against these guys, and it's designed a way to make them kill you, because they're the most challenging enemy on the game, and if you're not dying on these guys, you're either very, very good, or you're not playing it correctly, because they will make you get better. So much so that when you fight against any other enemy, you'll be like, what the fuck's this guy trying to do? He's flicking pebbles at me, I'm not even feeling it. Because everything else is slow and cumbersome compared to those guys. And I mean, this is another skippable fight, and me being a silly bastard, I decide to fight and try and get some stylish points, and I end up falling off, so run past this fight, it's pointless. But this game is fun, and the more you play it, the more you want to play it if it's your kind of game. Once again, it's a common strategy I use, torture attack to get the spinning scythe? Staff? and then carry on with it because it does so much damage and it's easy skill points. And I was hoping those statues would give me life, but this guy, what the fuck is wrong with my language skills tonight? My god, this game can be kind of cruel. And that is the electric equivalent of the fire dudes. And as you can see, he's the exact same, it's just his moveset is a different element and he does the tail move. And I think I'm taking on 2 of them, but I got a bit carried away then. And there you go, fire and lightning, and this is a combination you'll see a lot. But once again, if you can hit the witch time on them as you see me do, they die so quickly, it's not even worth mentioning. And he runs past me, stuns himself, and puts himself in a world of hurt. I'm going to knock him up, I'm going to play with him, and then I'm going to torture him. Because that's just how I do things. That were lucky, if that had have hit me that would have killed me, but luckily I'm expecting it, I'm watching him all the time, as soon as I see him rear back, I dodge. And it's these little things that I'm hopefully going to translate into your guys when you play it, so that you'll know what to look for, and your reflexes will get better as well, so you'll be dodging like this in no time. Fingers crossed you'll be better, in fact. So there you go, I've just switched to the Kulshadra, which is the whip, the serpent whip. And you've got to run over here. Oh, and another fight with a bunch of big angels. And I bait the first guy so I can get an easy witch time on him. And then I go switch into the whip and having a little bit of fun. And then I get smacked like a silly bastard, and then he does the big douche cannon that just douses everybody. And here we go, this is the jump cancelling that you can do with these guys. It's very simple, you hold Y, as soon as he gets near you press jump. Repeat ad nauseum. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's funny to watch. And just like any projectile on this game, you can knock them back in witch time. Here we go, I'll wait for him. And then I do the move with this trombone, but I didn't realise this trombone is a sack of shit, so it only hits one dude. And I think I'm gonna fall off again. Yeah, I am. It's like, why do you even bother? Just skip that fight, you're not gonna miss out. And now I have absolutely no life for the next fight. But the good thing about this game is it's constantly checkpointing, so when you do die, you come back in a very similar area with full life. And I'm just dancing with death here, I don't know what I'm playing at. Not even following my own advice. And there we go. I decide to fuck them off, I've got better things to do. See ya, boys. And that's the mechanism that will change the nocturnal pattern so that the moon is up. We get a nice close-up of a voluptuous anus. Another skippable cutscene, which is one of the things I love about this game, because there's nothing worse than being forced to watch a cinematic. Because if you're struggling with a game, and there's a cutscene before a boss, and you watch that cutscene 50 times because that boss is a cheap motherfucker, you're going to end up snapping the disc. You're going to end up climbing a clock tower and shooting a bunch of school kids, because games fuck you up, man. They really do. And you'll see a nice little wonder of editing in a moment as I go from no life to full life. And that's not me using an item, that is simply me editing out a death when I get slapped by one of these joys. So fight these joys like you would any other enemy. They're a pretty predictable bunch. They've got the main attack of the dash there, you just saw, the triple whip, and a couple of other things that they do on the difficulty, like firing those at you, and the laser grid system they fire at you. But now you've got the sword, you've got no excuse to not dick these kind of enemies, because the Y, wait, B, wait, Y is one of the most powerful attacks in the game and will dick most enemies. In fact, this fight isn't challenging at all, because these bitches are annoying, but they're not that difficult. The problem where it gets annoying and frustrating is because directly after this you're gonna have to fight a bunch of the fucking manatees, and not manatees, manta rays, You'd be alright fighting a bunch of manatees and motherfuckers wouldn't do all. But the manta rays are bullshit, and I hate them, as I've mentioned earlier. In fact, when you play on the other difficulties, you go up against the red and the blue cats, the glorious and the gracefuls, and I think even the fire and the lightning dog dudes, which I can never remember the name of. And I would rather fight an army of those any day over those fucking manta rays, because the manta rays are bullshit. And here we go. Hardly any life again up against these bitches, but like I say, if you believe in yourself enough and you play this game pretty well, you should be able to kick their ass, because these are no enemies, these are just trying to pass the time. And at this moment in time I have 73,000 halos, so when I do go to the shop next, if there's anything that I need, anything I'm in need of, I should be able to purchase, and there is a road in store coming up after this fight. It's just up them stairs that you can see there. As I'm going Texas Chainsaw Massacre on these motherfuckers. One thing I don't really advocate on this game is using your gun. The only real use the gun has on this game is for anything that's at long range, like the flying dragons you're going to see quite soon. The only real use it has, aside from that, is to keep your combo going. If you're the type of person that plays these so that they can record a nice big montage of you getting ridiculous combos and juggling people and cancelling and switching between weapons and just making things look really fancy and really slick, then you're going to know all about using the gun to keep your combo going. Because as long as you're hitting the enemy, your stylish rating is not going to go down. Obviously, the longer you do the same attack, its weight will decrease so that you're not getting as many stylish points, but you'll keep it stacked up so that you can continue to do stylish moves. And aside from that, it has absolutely no use because it is probably the weakest attack on the game. And if you do get yourself into that panic mode where you're jumping around and shooting because you're not that skilled and you don't know how to approach the game, it's not how it's meant to be played. And I do see a lot of YouTube videos of that happening, of inexperienced players doing that kind of thing. And you've just got to practice and get good with the combat the way the game wants you to fight. And if you've never played a Devil May Cry, you're probably not sure of how it wants you to fight. So here in the shop, you notice I still don't have the stiletto because I've not realised that it's the stinger with the sword. And I think I buy it here. I'm thinking about it. And then that seals the deal. Towards an enemy, I know it's the stinger then. And I would say as soon as you get the sword at chapter 3, buy that move. Because the amount of times you'll get hit trying to cover distance as quickly as you can is massively reduced by the ability to just joust directly into a dude, and you will skirt across 10 to 15 meters in no time, nailing people. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.